Must have went out. Got to relight it. How is everybody today? You know what it is? It's like a storm in my head. But the whole thing is, I see the storm coming, but it never gets to me. For the last week, somehow I'm going quicker. But I'm calmer. I've never had this in 7 years of being bipolar. Does that mean depression comes underneath the rains of the skies? Everything actually goes upon the natural system of the earth. Luckily, man gets a chance to rid of this depression before it begins. Now, yes, you can say blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that, but in general, okay, when everything is functioning properly, there is no depression. But when you fall into these other worlds, bipolar, schizophrenia, you've entered into another world. Your mind is seeing another world. Oh my God. Oh fuck. What do I do now? In another world. Gotta get scared. Look, there's signs all over the place. We're noticing the signs because there's something else in our heads. We have no choice. The other world comes with the signs. The signs are in this world. They started in that world and ended up in this world because we were born into this world because we don't see the signs in the other world because we don't know what the signs are. White is white, my friend. You put down white with no lines, well, you got to fill in the space. You got to type it in. If you got lines, you can write it out. If you don't got lines, it's still in its own purity. The dots on the reindeer, the white dots. It's a story to be told. You see, when you know what you think white is, and you go left of white and right of white, but obviously it's funny, because gray is left of right. Gray is left of white, and gray is right of white, and the gray skies, when the waters go up, during whatever period of time, they turn from white to gray. They're before the murky waters seem to be turning a little gray. The minute I think of something, I can make a story up out of it. 7 years ago, I was told there was a guy just like me. She gave him the pills and he was okay after. Was he okay? He's still making stories. You see, don't forget, there's a beaver up there, and he thinks the dam should be closed. But I'm a man, and I'm standing above the water on the land. And they say the dam should be left alone and let the water flowing. And then the beaver says to me, I feel a little hot. Stay close to me. Says, when you got a nickel, you're always close to the trains. When you got a nickel from Go, you have lost 10% of your money or $200. But when you got a nickel from Go at the beginning, where you started on 1, and your first step was 2, but you couldn't get there, but the nickel took you to Reading Railroad, R-E-A-D, read, reread, or read the ad of R&R, 18-18-36, makes a 1 face. Take the roulette roll twice. From the beginning to the end. Letting know that when it makes all these W's like this, okay, take that off, but don't lose it. It says at the bottom you get 2 for 1 on each one. But if you bet 1, you end up with 1 more and 1 more. If you bet 2, you get 2 more, but you lose the other 1. If you bet all 3, you'll get 2 in the 1 and you won't make no money. So 5 and 10. Once you got 5 and 10, my friends, that's it. They didn't have the 5 and 10 cent store for nothing. But before I go to 5 and 10, this is a reindeer with Santa Claus and sunglasses on. This is your reindeer. He's got his 2 eyes. He's got his red nose. The red nose is a signification that if it is in the center, it comes between the 2 eyes of the V and goes all the way up to the top. So you go from the top where the star is, where Venus is. Venus herself is connected over to Mercury, and Venus herself is connected over to Earth. But Venus and all is connected to Saturn and to Mars. Across from each other, as the reindeer eyes, he can't see this side or this side. But this is where the energy is. The antlers go here, and the antlers go here. Now he's focused between the energy of the gods. The Christmas tree. The Christmas hat. You see these? They all go up. And when you get to over here between the eyes, you must open up the door. This is a shaft, all the way back up to the top. The reindeer flies, because before he began, he was already flying. Now we have to understand certain things, like, am I a nut? Or maybe Rudolph, or Heinz, or any of these other words we read just like that in the sentences we know, should be actually broken down letter by letter. And like I said, this is the way the game began. 1, 3, 5 on the dice, plus 1 minus 1, plus 3 minus 3, plus 5 minus 5. 1 to 5, total 6. To bring it to a 10-10, from 5 you go left and right. But since the right side will already be on the side of the 10, you must start doubling from the left side. So the left side is number 4, you need a 6, now 6 away from where you just landed, and you are at the corner, just visiting jail. So far, we couldn't do anything with the dice. Now that we brought it to a 10-10, again, we're at the corner. Minus 1 plus 1, minus 3 plus 3, minus 5 plus 5. We're going to go the distance over here. Plus 5 in the 10 we originally went is 15. It puts us on B&O, Beta Omega World. 15 plus the first 10 that we made is 25. The X, Roman numeral 10, and the O, 15. 1 and 5 is 6. That's 25. The 2 and 5 of the Mayan, of the town of the year, and everything that they talk about, just come and ask me if you want to know. Because I don't know. I know some of it. But the minute you ask me, I'm going to tell you a story. And then we're going to know it between us. Because we share. We make it fair and we care. It's not for us, but for everybody. Fuck the money. The money stalls my brain from working. I can't have the money. I can play with the dolls, but not the money. So now we're on B&O, we did 15 and 10. Now what we do is 1 plus 5, because again, we went 5 minus 5 and plus 5. So now that's 10. So there's many things we can do now because we come just before jail. On the next move, it's 6 away. And man is 6. 5 that we went. Not with 5, you go minus and plus 1. You have 1 on each side. 1 is 4, 1 is 6. You take the 6, because at 25, you're now in life. To take the 6. First you have to finish off the first dice, then the second dice. And now I told you, we moved again, we were on the third dice. Third dice. 4, 5, 6. Minus and plus. So you take the 6. And you go right on to Pacific. You're a Pacific green salmon. If you took the 4, you would end up on Marvin Gardens. But if you take the average, you're in go to jail. But before you go to jail, always repeat yourself, just in case there's a coincidence. Let's start the game on go, and now we go to jail. We knew when we got into the game, we were inside the house. It was while we were in the house, we didn't know we were coming back and leaving. But we knew, we saw it was right ahead of us. Go to jail. We knew what the dice could have got. We knew what our number was. But in this house, we play from 5. Like 2 and 5, like I just said. The second dice, 2. You can't get 1 anyways. Because 1 is nothing. 1 puts you at point 0. You have 2 dice now that you came into the second dice. You only have 2. Now it's 2 to 6. First we had 1 to 6. A to Z. Let me mark that down. 1 to 6, A to Z, 2 to 6, B to Z. Okay, now what this means, okay, is the Z, okay, is the 26th letter. We're starting at B, so automatically, the way they set it up in this world, is it already says B by saying 2. And we're doing the 2 other dice, which is B, and 26 is the last letter. Don't forget about Rudolph. Don't you remember he had a red nose? That atop every building, for every single airplane or anything else, a tower for your telephones. In the sky, the red beacon that's always beaming from the top. So how did Rudolph not be able to fly? That's our information, my friends. That's the hot spirit matrix. 85 is the number. So when you drive past 85, you're taking a chance with your life. Not because it's fast for your car. You already know once you leave a certain speed limit, it doesn't feel so good. And sometimes it feels great if you don't think about death or accidents while you're doing it. But 85 is the number. How do I know? Because X and O, as X10 Roman numerals as O is the 15th letter, equals 25, equals 25. 2 and 5 are center. JACK equals 25. B and E, break-in and entry, equals to 25. The 25th letter is the Y. So now you can say, you say goodbye. You know why you say goodbye? Because it's the 7th gate. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, hello. So they welcome you in. I was thinking about walking in front of that car and coming back to heaven after 6 years old, but I decided I'm going to make it to the end and go all through life and run myself through to make that money so I can only eat this body that I don't fucking need just to get back up and use my head again. And that's why you see no more than my shoulders. Because whatever gestures I make, it all came up from what's above. It doesn't mean that's your complete brain. This is a radiator. Murky waters and gray anatomy. It's a radiator. When the radiator, she unplugs, you get a brain hemorrhage. Because you got to keep everything, every strand coming in, every strand protected. I don't know how she breaks up if she goes down and up, which way she goes, but she goes. The Christmas tree, I just made it small. The antlers, one on this side, one on this side. Brings balance to the center. How in the world do you want an animal like a deer to run? This is how big they are. Can you stand up and do it like this all the time? No. The way he puts animals, man, he goes out and he makes an animal like this. You got the body at the top, and you got the feet spread, and you can still see my face. You know why? Number 2 and 5. 2 is up there. 5 is my head. Under the tarp, of course. Sometimes it's lifted a little bit, and put down, and lifted and put down. And the winds, they come a-howling. The winds come a-howling on in. I wonder why. Where's it coming from? Well, don't forget, part of the universe. We have the cap. Let the cap. Part of the universe comes in. You know why? Because it's bad out there. And we've been bad boys. So we're going to let a little bit of the moon dust come and sit on us, and maybe between that time we'll learn to readjust. 25. When things come in, it comes in 25. It's a cigarette pack. It's not a square pack, because we're not squares. We're more than one. We're fit together. We come in like this, in pairs. 2 of this, or 2 of this, or 2 of this, or 2 of this. How do you want to balance? You can lower us like a cherry. 1, 2, 2, 3. Now, if you bring it in as 4, 7, okay, they come in separate parts. You have to look how they created the designs for the placing of the bets in roulette. They're not square. They're not square because you can't angle out. If you ain't got a corner to go out, you can't get out. So the lines go in a different way. Plus, you have to put angle lines to make sure the whole box is full of lines for whichever way it's going. Then it'll create squares, diamonds, first base, soccer balls, the baseball. You see, if you want to design the baseball and you want to see if I'm close to being any close to right, what you got to do if I'm close to right, then I'm not in left field. But I can run over to center. Wouldn't I be running this opposite way of the field I'm not in? Maybe a little bit like this. What happens, okay, is you have this one here and this one here. This is number 1 and this is number 3. But when everybody's in the same house and they're all over here, this arm is all the way down here. And it's not there at 3. It's just another wall, a bigger wall. This is the top of a chalice. Top of 1, top of 2, and then keep going around the pole. This over here, this is Jupiter, holding up Saturn, holding up Mars. Now, because of the size of Saturn, and because of the size of Mars, I don't think that's actually the way it works. Okay? I have another design for this. What I do know, okay, is Venus is up here, and Jupiter has to be down here. Because the way the chakras go, and the way the dice go, the dice, if I put out a dice this way, now that I'm stuck into this, I saw a dice, you know what, I have dice that have everything and I can't find anything. So give me a second, I'm going on, you don't mind giving me a second? They tell you not to smoke this. They tell you not to smoke this. They tell you not to smoke this. Why? Because it's sort of gummy a little bit, it's better when it's gummy. It gummies up inside, or you have a little bit of a gummy bear, a little bit of more color, and some space opens up. Because this is the only thing that knows how to defy the earth, along with the other drugs and chemicals. So if we can defy it naturally, it was made for us to defy naturally. So why aren't we using it? Because of money. Everybody's being paid off and secretly hiding things because they're not supposed to know any better than what they do. Hell, whatever it is, it's not for me anyways. What's the big deal? Do you know what the big deal about this whole thing is? If people aren't thinking about Scientology, this whole war and everything is all basically has to do with more than religion. It has to do with the science of religion. We are living on the sands. Beneath our feet are all pyramids. When you drop something from the sky and it falls sandily on top of each other, it creates a mountain perfectly round. We're living on top. What is below is like a big giant computer that's surrounding this whole damn thing. Just because it's in the ground and the ground keeps cool at one end and warm at the other end, where it's humid on top and the grass hairs grow. If you don't grow the grass on the earth will run away. Hey earth, the earth ran away with a spoon. I wonder why. Hi diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. So now we have to sing the songs, because if we want to know a little bit deeper, we got to go where we heard it before. Hey, that was a coincidence. I heard that when I was 8 years old. We don't use it anymore. Because, oh, I was 8 years old then. It's all bullshit. 25, and 25 is 50 of the cap. You end up on visiting jail, or free parking, or in the 5th inning, in which both teams went to bat 5 times, and they both ran into the field 5 times. Each team did 10 after 5. That's 20. And at 5, it's the passage. 20 plus 5 gets you back to B&O. That's the beta egg back into this world. You get number 6 on the 3rd dice. But why do you get number 6 on the 3rd dice? I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. Why do we get 6 on the 3rd dice? I'm going to show you. Don't run away. Beta world, while in spirit, while in creation, while bringing the energy down to the earth, digital, Neptune and Venus, Neptune and Venus, and Mars and Saturn, communication, communication. This crosses over onto this one. This, and this, and this. 3 different dice. Three different dice to create this. Each dice had 6 on it. 6, 6, 6. But now we only have 5. So we take this one over here. Put it over here. Now you got the 7th gate. You filled in 2 sides. You filled in once. You got twice. Now you got 3. 3 times 2 is 6 man. The first 2 times you get the 4 angle of the angel. You add the 6 man. You got 6 man. The 6 man and the 4 angle that was created before, because this is an equation. This is all separate equations. We go in the box and we take what we need and we build. Now this way is the different kind of beta work. This is the 4th one. This one and this one don't go together. One is, see, we live between these 2 sidewalls. This creates the letter M, the letter W, the letter I, the letter H. This is the sidewalls. This is the staff of Moses. On each side, we must stay in between to be connected by the Spirit. It only exists on the 1 dice. The Spirit exists. Okay? I'm going to show you how the Spirit exists. Hold on a second. I'm getting ready to show you. You're getting ready to look. I'm going to show you how the Spirit exists. Spirit exists between 2. Beta 1, beta 2. 2 sides that make the 5 and 6 dice. Beta 1 and beta 2. When you put them over each other, you go 3, 3. But the other 3 gets lost and becomes 3, 3 of 2. 3, 3, because this dot and this dot are now over each other. So now it's a 2, but it's in the 5th position. So it's in the 5th position, and it's 2. Like the Mayan said, 52. Do you know why it's 52? Because 13 weeks at 7 days is 91 days, which is accounting from ace all the way up to 13. The reason why it's 52 is because when you play 7 innings, excuse me, let me not do it that way. Let me see which way I'm going to do it. 3 13s, 7 6, 7 6, 7 6. Makes 39. It's a complete. Talking about each one. But now, if you connect one of them to another one, 39 plus the equation, Add 13 more, it's 52. I'll show you very simply. 7th inning stretch. First team goes up. First team goes up, eh? They don't go up last. They go up first, but they don't go up last. So last is best when first is just part of the first of the game. First is not so good in this situation. What last is? ST. Last is the top letter count between being on Sugar Mountain and not, because you can't be 20. You're 19. If you're 19 on Sugar Mountain, you're on Tennessee, or you're on New York if you're playing the game from just before go, all the way around. Go plus 19 is New York. But the number of New York is 20. The Tennessee, the number of the Tennessee, it's 18. New York is the 19th. Tennessee 18, New York 19. But New York is the 20th lot. 20 is the T. 19 is the S. S and T. S, T. Hold on. S, T. STI. STRI. S-T. STRI. So you're in the 7th inning of first teams. They're over. Whatever the run is, you had to take 21 outs. So you have 21 outs. And now, there is no bottom of the 7th. There's a song. But wait, first let's make the count. Let's bring everything up to date for the last 3 innings. The last 3, the first dice, the second dice, and the third dice. Because when the third dice comes, it's all for creation. So we were talking about Monopoly and 39. Anyways, the second team, the home team, was up 6 times, 18 outs. The first team, 21 outs, 18 and 21, 39. 18 is the U letter. 18 is the R letter. 18 is the U. The letter says, R-U-A. Rah, rah, rah. Or it says in French, le rue. So we have 39 outs, 7 innings for one, 6 for the other, 13, plus 39 equals 52. Now we're up to date. Everybody's been up to the plate, they've been all knocked out, and this is the time, so now we have 52. 5 and 2 is 7. There are 4 ways to beta creation. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can be done once, which makes 3, and this one can be done, which makes 3. That is 6. 6 ways, but now we have to run the separate worlds and the in-between worlds. So we have 4 ways of 3 and 3, creation of Christ. There are only 2 worlds, which is really these 2 worlds. This is the cross of Christ. This is the way we go, and this is the way we go. We get the energy, and this is the way we go. Digital time, because we're going through the center. Don't you see the lines? 1 world, 2 worlds, both with the same spirit. 1, 2, 3 again. So we're in the creation worlds. 3, 3, and 4. There are 4 of them, but you can only use 3 and 3. 3, 4, 3. The total is 10. The 10th letter is J. 1 for the letter A. Pretty good. It's the 10th letter. There's a 0 in there. J-O, Joe. The O is the 15th letter. Let's separate that, because it's in 2 separate categories. I don't have a bill that says 12 on it. So I'll take it first. I got a $10 bill, and that's a J. Okay, that's a J. That's fine. J sounds like it's got an A because it's from the A family, so now we got an invitation for a letter. And E is the 5th letter. A and E, because that's all it is. Minus 5 plus 5. I didn't do it the other way, but it's A and E from every corner. There are trains in between. That's the cross of life. Can't cross over the lines. You're either going up or you're staying down. It's the brain that goes up and you live your life here. Or you go down, your brain goes back up, and that's it over here. Now we're winding a different way. Don't you know why? There's two sides. Whatever I'm saying, it's in small and in big. There's two sides, one here, one there. There's a cap on top. Each different one has a cap on it. The one on top has a bigger cap, and the ones over that have a bigger cap. Like a Christmas tree. So none of this shit actually, it falls onto the sides, everything, and onto the sides. But when it's overweight or off weight, you know when they go ding, ding, ding on the drums and the thing bounces like this, it's because it's all shuttered. When I say like this, it's shuttered, it's because the matrix got to run in on these angles, the same angles it rains. So it's all shuttered. So everything is on certain angles, placed a certain way, and when certain things happen in certain areas, and the energies are stronger there and they can't allow for certain winds, they have to open up the roof and let everything in. Because the energy is too strong in the spot, and you can't afford not to. It was made special for that. Just like our hair grows on our head, just like we smell when we work harder, I'll exhaust. Oh, I'm exhausted. Thank God, because if you weren't exhausted, okay, you'd blow up. 3 triangles, 3 spirals coming together, just on paper. It's a Big Bang. The actuality of how it really could have happened, I haven't looked into it yet. You know why? Because I love Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, all the guys who are sick in the head. Because they're not sick in the head at all. In this world, excuse me, you don't seem very normal today. You're not your normal self. But you look happy as shit. I won't mention that. You're not your normal self. Check it out. You look fucked up. I've never seen people happy like that. He just kicked you in the ass. Why are you happy? Because I moved away and now he can't reach. The next time he tries to kick me, he'll fall on his own ass. I don't have to chase. Manhattan. The man in the hat had 10 because he was smart. Bronx. Why the Bronx? I thought the Broncos were in Denver. Just play with it until you find something else that fits. Whatever happened there back then, you can go the opposite way and find out everything that really didn't happen back then and why it was caused. You go see what happens when you throw all the cattle, okay, into a building made out of tin. Not that anybody was bad, but you only had one sandwich. What do you want to do when you have no choice? Huh? What do you think they're doing now? Because they have no choice. They got all the crystal skulls all over. They're in search of all that memorabilia because they know it brings in energy, and they know. They must really be connected somehow. Because if I feel a little connected, and these guys have been doing it for a long time, the energy comes to you when you and it serves the purpose. The energies cannot join if you're not on the same level. And when you do join, and you start to go, no one tells you to stop when it's evil. When you're with the evil. When you're trying to do good, stop. There's something wrong. Are you feeling okay? Are you taking your pills? Well, I came in as a baby, and let's see, they wanted to give me a needle 10 times in the last 10 years, and I refused them all because I don't want their needle. If God comes to me and says your life is over, boom, bang, take me away, that's it, it's over. I don't want to take a needle. Unless I understand. I have to hear what the word is. If I don't like the word or what they're doing it for, hey man, I don't lose, man. I lose if I stay. That doesn't mean we should run away from this. God gave you a contract, and the contract that says you stay here till the end of life. And I'm going to fulfill my contract When the good Lord sends a car through my door and is able to hit me, well then, so be it. I live on the second floor, by the way, so. But I don't want to go. I'd like to learn a little bit more of what I think I don't know. And share it for those who want to know. So that one day we can discuss whatever it is we think we know and bring it into coincidence and opposition. And play the in-between. Obviously trying to go into one exact corner. It's much better if they take a pyramid, turn it upside down, everything goes to the same place. How do you think they made our heads? From monkeys. They needed to know if the bone structure was going to hold on to the temperature underneath the surface and what it had to do to cool it down or to warm it up. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? But think about it. Build us like cars. You got to rebuild us from a machine. If the machine can't do it, then we can't do it either. We are only the final extension of the pieces put together. Raphael 7286. Thank you.